Hi there, Stampers. It's Lisa. Welcome. I am back from my trip to New Mexico. My husband and I went there and visited my daughter in her new home and did a little bit of home improvement projects. We were busy nonstop. We not only painted her garage, we primed, painted, and then did custom shelving, custom desk, got everything together there. And then she had volunteered us to work on somebody else's house, and we built a closet. So I put pictures of both of those projects in my newsletter that went out this week. So hopefully you're subscribed to my newsletter and you got to see pictures of the gorgeous work that my family does. Of course, I just kind of stood there and said, here's the latest tool and here's this. And I made the runs to Lowe's for more supplies. But my husband and my daughter are both very talented in woodworking and they made some gorgeous projects. So I am glad to be home, although now I'm just like this close to my shoulder surgery, which is starting to freak me out. But anyway, let's get moving because now I can still craft. I've got a couple weeks left where I can still play with you guys and we can do some fun stuff. Today's project is kind of a 3D item. So it's a box and it's like an exploding box and it has contents on the inside. So obviously kind of hard to mail and won't exactly work for Prize Patrol. So I made a coordinating card and this card is going to be today's Prize Patrol. So go ahead and put hashtag Prize Patrol into the comments and you will get entered into the drawing to get that card today. So let's move down to the desk and let's get started on today's project. Hopefully you guys watched the projects I did while I was gone. I was able to pop in on Thursdays live and I commented and was able to chat with you guys there. Tuesday, I don't know, too much stuff was going on and I didn't quite get a chance to do that. So I apologize, but the live did go up. I just wasn't in the chat. So here's today's project. Check that out. Anybody a fan of the Cadbury Creme eggs? These are the large full-size ones. If you didn't like Cadbury Creme eggs, maybe there's, I know Reese's has now made some Reese's peanut butter Cadbury eggs like this, where they're chocolate with peanut butter on the inside. That's like worth a try, isn't it? Don't you think? That sounds really interesting to me. But these are the cream eggs, and I went ahead and decorated the inside and the outside of our box, as well as the lid, and then made the coordinating card. Oops. And I think just about anybody's going to love this project. So we're going to start out with a piece of 10 by 10. And you need your 12 by 12 cardstock for this. And I'm bad and I don't have a bunch of it on hand. I have very vanilla black and I had a couple pieces of crumb cake. So this one is going to be in crumb cake, whereas the first one I did was in very vanilla. So that's on my list to order sometime soon, is more of our 12 by 12 cardstock. While it's not available right now in full color packs, I'm hoping that it will. We have heard that Close to My Heart has closed and that we might be getting a whole bunch of Scrampin' Up like demos, like the makers over at Close to My Heart may move over to Stampin' Up, and we may get some more scrapbooking supplies, which excites me to no end. So hopefully that means we will get full-size packs of our 12 by 12 papers, and that would be great for this project. If not, go ahead and buy a color family, and that will work just as well. Catchism kids, what are those? I haven't heard that term before. Is that a city or I don't know, I'm confused. Okay, so we have our, like I said, our 10 by 10, and then the egg holder at the bottom is going to be made out of this 10-inch by 5 3/8 piece of balmy blue. And then the lid to our box is going to be made out of a 7 1/16 by 7 1/16. I know that's a really funny number and you guys hate that. But all it is I made it 7 by 7, but like a hair bigger because I want it, like it would be this one little thing, like 1/8 of an inch is the middle between the two, and 1/16 is that one there. Ooh, focus. Eek, come on. It's all blurry on me. I apologize. Internet's acting kind of funny today. But it's just one little hair over the number, and that's just because we want the lid to be just big enough that it's going to slide over the top and not be too tight. Boy, that getting all blurry is bugging me. I rebooted my computer. I rebooted the modem. Not really sure what to do. Okay, for the top of our box, like the very top, this is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and this one is 3 5/8 by 3 5/8, and it's just a little bit smaller than the 4 by 4 basically that's going to be on the inside. It's 4 1/16. So if you wanted to, you could do that at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. That is so blurry. I apologize. For down inside the box where the eggs are going to go, they're going to go in these. So this is 3 5/8 by 3 5/8, and then 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. And then I have some decorative stuff for the outside of our box. So the outside panels will have 4 of these and 4 of these. So these are 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And these are 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then I did the same with the inside, only these are going to have white cardstock over our bubble bath. So this is Fresh Freesia, and the designer series paper is actually from our Beautiful Balloons suite. Both of them are actually, because I thought this looked very Easter eggish. Man, that is not a good image. Hopefully you guys are still getting everything that I'm sharing here, even though I'm a little bit blurry. Oh, Catholic classes for kids. Oh, catechism. Okay, I've heard the name. I just haven't seen it spelled out. Very cool. Maybe they'd like this little boxes. Super cute. Okay. So I'm going to take my Simply Scored, and I'm going to bring that in here, and we're going to score this 10 by 10 piece of crumb cake 3 inches from all sides. That makes me feel silly. My grandparents were Catholic. I should have known that one. I know my dad went to catechism. I didn't. We're just Christian, but I should know the term. I'm going to go back here and grab some bigger scissors, because what we're going to end up doing is cutting out the 4 corners. This is the piece that's going to hold the eggs. So on the long way, I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch from either side using the small end of my stylus, because we're on cardstock. If I was using designer series paper, it would have been the larger end. Okay, then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. So across the long side, we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 4 5/8, 5 3/8. So that's basically going to be 3/4 of an inch in between those two. And then 9 1/4 down here, which gives us 3/4 of an inch at the end. Man, that's blurry. How distracting. I am so sorry. I'm using my iPhone 13 Pro Max. And the reason I got the Pro Max is it's supposed to have the super fantastic camera, but it's not turning out to be that today, is it? Okay, then our 7 16ths by 7 16ths, I'm going to score in 1.5 inches from all four sides. Those of you who have been buying my tutorials, thank you so much. That has made a huge difference and will continue to make a difference as my husband and I go in for surgery. I go in April 2nd and he will go in July 21st. I'm getting a shoulder surgery from my fall on the ice about a year ago, and he's getting a knee replacement. I've also got good news on my book. I have said that I'm working on a book of fun fold patterns, and I have actually gotten somewhat of an approval from Stampin' Up. They gave me some edits to make to it, but it sounds like if I make the edits they suggest, that I probably have the green light to go ahead and publish that. So that's kind of some exciting news. So I'm looking forward to the new book and the new tutorials that I have uploaded to help fund us when we're not able to work. Although I have been pre-recording a lot of videos, so my videos will go off as normal, just like they did for my vacation. They will go off as live when I'm out with my surgery. And hopefully, I mean, I might miss one or two, but hopefully I'm going to be able to join in the comments since I'll be home recovering. Just won't be able to use that arm because it is my right arm. It's the dominant side. Somebody was telling me that I need to get was it an ice bath? What was it that you were telling me, Wendy? Some kind of an ice machine. I've never done this before, so I kind of looked it up on Amazon, and they have one that will do knees and shoulders. So that was kind of cool to find out. So if you have any advice for me as I go in for my shoulder surgery or Mark goes in for his knee surgery, I would appreciate it. Normally I'm not this focused on our medical stuff, but I'm a little freaked out. My husband just thinks it's kind of funny. He's been asking the doctor if he does a 2-for-1 deal or, you know, does he take Groupon, those sorts of things. Thinks he's really funny because we are using the same doctor for both surgeries. Okay, so now I'm just going to take out the score line. I'm cutting just on either side of where it's scored, and I'm just removing that little section that has the divot in it. So this will be the lid. I think when we had a layover at the airport. Well, not really a layover. We arrived in Boise, and our shuttle to get back to Twin Falls was 6 hours after we arrived. So I have added, I think it was 5 new tutorials to my website. Oh, wow. Catherine says she broke her arm and had to learn to write with the left hand. I can do a lot of things with my left hand, but sometimes with the paper crafting, I actually need both. So I don't know. I will try. He says that fairly soon I should be able to work like surface level, like not raise my arms, but be able to work desk level and do typing. So that's kind of exciting. At least I'm not going to be a total invalid. Okay, so now we're going to take this part that's supposed to be the part that holds the eggs. So I'm just going to score this or burnish all the score lines. And you'll see what we end up with here is kind of going to be a little small box. Ooh. So again, I'm going to remove the score lines from the left and right side, but not the top and bottom. Those are going to stay. Okay. Just snipping all of these out of there. And then we're going to need to run this through the die cutting machine to cut the holes for the eggs. So how I did that was I just kind of went through my dies that I happen to have. And I ended up choosing the layering circles dies. And I know, I'm sorry, they're retired. Hopefully, though, you were with me when they did retire, and I told everybody go buy them because they are awesome. Basic shapes are always a good thing. If you don't have those, then the deckled circle dies will probably work. Or if you have circle punches, those will work. But these are our layering circles that are retired, and I'm using these out of here. You could probably also use one of these, which is the stylish shapes. Like I said, the deckled circles is the other one. But basically what you want to do is figure out which one is going to hold whatever eggs that you end up getting. So that one seems a little big. This one almost a little small. So that's why I didn't use those. So then I came to these. And again, that one's a little small. So I ended up using this one here because that seemed to fit kind of right around the middle. So this one is 1 3/8 of an inch. So if you have a 1 3/8 inch hole punch or something else, it will fit the Cadbury Creme eggs. Wow, can still write with your left hand? That's amazing. I know my husband and my son are both what they call switch hitters. I guess when they play baseball, they can bat left and right-handed. That's as far as they are as getting like ambidextrous that way. Okay, now I want to be able to put these in the 4 corners. So in order to do that, I needed to find the 4 corners. So what I did, I had there it is. I had a ruler. And so basically, I want to find the middle. So I think I said this was 4 inches. Yeah. So I'm going to mark this at 2 inches. And I'm going to mark it at 2 inches this way. And I'm using a pencil, so I can always come back and erase it. Oop. I guess it's a little less than 4 inches. So I've kind of centered it where I've got this running over a little and this running over a little. But basically I'm finding the middle, and then I'm going to draw a line across. Where a T-square might come in handy. Another way, if you don't like trying to find, come on, focus. I've drawn a plus across the middle of this. But another way you could do it is to draw a line diagonally and then diagonally, and that helps you find the middle, and then you could kind of work your way around to figure out where the 4 of them go. Gosh, is this really super blurry for you guys, or is it just my computer? I'm thinking I may pop out and pop back in and see if it focuses a little better. But I've got a big plus across the middle, dividing this into the 4 circles, and then I'm going to take my 1 3/8 inch circle die, or like I said, it could be a punch, and then I'm going to cut 4 circles out of here. So because this is a little wider, I'm going to need my full-size machine. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get this to come in a little clearer. I apologize. So how's everybody doing? Have you purchased any of my tutorials? How did you like them? Do you have suggestions for me on how I could improve them? Do you have a certain stamp set or bundle that you would like me to make a tutorial on? Okay. Going back in. Be there in a second. Still a little blurry for me, but it sounds like some people are not having issues with it. If you are, I apologize. Hopefully my wording through all of this helps you. Okay, so we're going to go and make our circles in those little quadrants using the larger of the cut and emboss machines, because this one has a 6-inch opening, which will allow us to feed this through. Heard it, there it goes. And I'm putting it a little to the center because remember, I'm going to have kind of a border around the outside with our layers. So I'm going to want it centered in the layers once they eventually go on there. And you could try to cut this through all 3 layers once you had it on there. I did that the first time. It gave me a little bit of trouble trying to go through 2 layers of cardstock and a layer of DSP. But if you just did the DSP, I'm sure it would work perfectly, because I have cut through 2 layers before just fine with these dies. It's just when it went up to 3, it got persnickety on me. The tutorials I have on my website right now are all like like based on a stamp set or a bundle. The tutorial book is going to be just based on fun folds and it can be used with anything. It's going to say use cardstock 1, use cardstock 2, use DSP 1, DSP 2, and then you can pick whichever cardstocks and DSP you choose to use. And then I'll have all the directions and diagrams and everything all to scale in there. Okay. So now I have this piece that has my 4 holes in it, right? So now I need the 2 layers that are going to go over it. So let's pull those in. So these are the 2 layers that are going to go right over the top. So I can go ahead and stick these 2 together. Okay, and then I'm centering it in here where I'm going to want it to glue down. Try to make my border even all the way around, and then I'm going to hold it in place and flip it over. And then I'm going to circle where these dies need to go. Now, like I said, if you can cut through all 3 layers, by all means, try that. Glue it down first and then try it. Mine gave me trouble. So I'm just shifting a little and hoping my alignment lines up. And then I'm going to save the circles because I'm sure I can use them on another project somehow. Remember to put in hashtag prize patrol in order to get entered into the drawing to win the card today. Normally I give away what I'm making, but today it's going to be a coordinating card because the box is going to be just a little too difficult to mail. But I didn't want to have no prize at all since I wasn't able to do it while I was on vacation. Although I did pick a few people I'm sending something to. Just as a thank you for being loyal and watching even though I wasn't here. Okay, so here is that. And what I'm going to want to do is glue that down onto here. So I'm going to take my pencil and erase the little pencil lines because we don't want those in there. I don't need to erase them all the way across because obviously our paper is going to cover them up in the middle, but I don't want it sticking out the edge. So okay, that's going to match up that way. Just making sure. Aha, that's got better edges. Okay, so that's the way it's going to go. And I'm going to use liquid glue because liquid glue gives me that wiggle time that I'm going to need to swirl this around and make sure that my holes all line up. Oops. See? Okay, so that's that. Then I'm going to make my box. So we're going to take and fold these flaps in and put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here. And then I'm making sure that I'm square here at the edges. Okay, now in order to get these there and not have this other piece in the way, I'm going to just kind of bend it that direction, although it's not going to stay that way. I'm just going to fold it that way so it's out of my way, so I can see that I'm getting square on the edges over there. And then we're going to do these. Okay, so it looks like one way is going to fit better than the other, but I don't really want to see these edges. So we can either glue them down, which I think is what I might do, or pull it apart and trim it a little, or figure that out before we cut the holes. What do you think? Okay, since this one's just going to be for me, I'm okay with it not being perfect. But if you're doing this before you glue that last section, you know, the little flaps at the far end, what you're going to want to do is make sure that it does fit on the inside. And if it doesn't, then you're going to trim just a tiny bit off and move your score line over just a hair. And then it will go on the inside like it did with my first box. I'm just cleaning up the edges here. But I mean, I still like it, and I don't think the kid I'm going to give it to is going to be so worried about that once they break into it and see all the chocolate, right? Okay, so then we need our other pieces. As I said, this was going to be the top of the box, so we're going to glue our flaps down there too, with the same kind of idea that we're matching up these corners. I actually was using an electronic machine, Wendy. I was using my Big Shot Express because I've been having trouble with my shoulder, obviously. So I've been using my electronic machines so I don't have to do as much cranking. And it still gave me issues with the 3 layers. But all machines are different. So just because mine didn't do it doesn't mean yours won't. It all depends on how they are adjusted and calibrated and all that good stuff. For the top of the box, like I said, I have this piece of cardstock and then I have the designer series paper. I see we're losing a few people. I don't have as many people viewing. Do you guys not like the 3D projects so much? Normally, I usually do cards, and this is more of a 3D object. So let me know if you like the 3D or you don't. That'll kind of give me some guidance as to what to do in the future. I just figured with Easter coming up, it would be fun to have an Easter treat box. If you didn't want to put the Cadbury eggs in the middle of this, it would still be very cute to make your exploding box without the insert in it. So you could just have it come like this. And I've seen people make a little paper cake that goes in the middle, filling it with maybe a jewelry box. There's lots of things you could put in the middle instead of the eggs. Okay, these are going to be my outside pieces. So let's go ahead and assemble those real quick. Okay. The computer tells me how many people are watching, and it's just less than normal. So I just thought I'd check, because I'm here for you guys. And I don't want to be doing something you don't like. And they're not complicated. Especially if you took out the fact that I used the little egg insert. If you were just making the exploding box and just had the layers with the top of the box and the bottom of the box, this is super easy. It's not complicated at all. Might even be just the right size for a cupcake. What do you think? I've made some other exploding boxes where I've had 3 different layers, where I've had a 12 by 12, an 11 by 11, and then a 10 by 10, and then they all sat inside of each other and exploded out. So that's out there on my YouTube channel. I made little pockets on each of the flaps, and I put little cards inside of them. It was really cute. Okay, so I'm putting designer series paper on the outside, and then we'll do a little bit of stamping for the inside and give it our Easter look. When I'm ready for that, I'll zoom the camera in better so you can see. I just feel like as long as I'm working with these big pieces and spinning it around, I have the risk of running out of camera and you guys wouldn't be able to see. Has anybody bought the zinnias or the coffee bundle or any of the other things that were released on March 5th? There was all that new product that hit the online exclusives store. So if you're one of those that only looks at the catalog, you may want to go take a peek at the online store, because there were lots of really cute things that were released. And they're not going to be in catalogs. They're only available online. We will be getting a new catalog that's coming out, let's see, May 1st, I believe, because we can order out of it next month. As demonstrators, we're able to order the new product April 2nd. So the day I go in for my surgery, we can order, demos can order a new product, and then it's available to customers May, I think the 1st, but it's probably like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, first Tuesday or Wednesday out of the month. But it's coming, and it's coming soon. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I want to make sure that I have your current address. So if you want a catalog mailed to you, please make sure I have your current address. I normally send them to everybody who's ordered from me in like the last 6 months to a year. And then if you're not working with another demo and choose to work with me as your demo, all you have to do is let me know, and I will ship the catalogs off to you. But we do pay for them, so we all request that you buy from the demo or you get the catalog from the demo you're going to buy from. That's only fair, right? Okay. And we need to submit to Stampin' Up! Where we want the catalogs mailed by the end of April. Okay, so there is the bottom of our box. Here's the top of our box. And now we need some stamping. So I'm going to bring in our Easter Bunny stamp set. So that's this one right here. It's really cute. It came out last year, I believe, because it was not in, or it was in the catalog before the last annual came out. So this was a carryover set, and I'm so glad it did, because there's a punch that actually punches out this one. These ones you would have to fussy cut or just stamp direct, but they're adorable. They're like just enough realistic, just enough cartoon, where depending on how you color them and what you do with them, they could look either really kid-ish or really adult-ish. This one I stamped directly onto crumb cake paper using pecan pie ink. And then I went over them with a white gel pen, or you could use our white watercolor pencil. But I used a white gel pen to color his tail and his underbelly. And then I did his face, being careful I didn't go over the top of his whiskers. And then I did the inside of his ear white. But then I went over the white with the dark Bubble Bath Stampin' Blend. So after coloring it white, I let it dry, and then I put the pink over it, because coloring directly onto the crumb cake with the pink marker, it's not going to be very pink. So the fact that I put the white down first gave me a better chance. Oh, fun. Ginger thinks she might make something like this for her friend she has lunch with. That's very cute. Oh, that's a good point. Someone says that there are a lot of demos traveling to convention because OnStage is going on right now. Spring break, summer traveling. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Somebody does things for the mail lady. Very cool. I did not go to convention in Houston because I was going to visit my daughter, and I felt visiting my family was more important. But now I'm all jealous because I see them posting that they already know what the new in colors are and all kinds of stuff. So I feel I've got a little bit of FOMO going on, but I am glad I saw my daughter. Okay, so I have 4 of these basic white pieces. Let's get this out of the way. You know me, I'm going to stick this into ink or something if I don't get it out of my way. Okay, so I have my stamps mounted with the bunnies. There we go. So I'm going to go 2 of them with this forward-facing bunny. And then I'm going to do 2 of them with the side-facing bunny. I'm loving this glass mat. Look at those perfect impressions without the foam underneath it. How cool is that? I hope the glass mat is something that they continue to offer to us, or maybe even put in a catalog, because it is pretty awesome. Those who signed up as a demonstrator, in January and February had the option to get it for free, which several people did and joined my team. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of pink to the bunnies by putting it in their ears, and this forward-facing one, I'm going to make the little pads on his feet pink too. This one I use the dark pink, and the other one I use the light pink. So this one gives a little more pop. The light gives a little more subtle look. So choose which one you want, subtle or pop. I think these holes are way too small to actually blend in, but they are fun. Okay, then I took the sentiments. So I have our Happy Easter. You're a friend like no other. Enjoy all the little moments, and an Easter treat for you. And I'm going to stamp these in Balmy Blue or Fresh Freesia. Do you hear Pixie back there? Must be dreaming. Okay, that fits a little better over there. Okay. Oh, and let's go to blue so we can alternate our colors. Now you're looking at my little opening here and you're saying, but Lisa, that Happy Easter is long and skinny and it's not going to fit. But we have a solution. What I'm going to do is find a little scrap of paper, and then I'm going to ink up just the happy by hovering over the edge. Now I may have caught something on the Easter part. So what I'm going to do is kind of line this up kind of where I want it with the Easter stamping onto the other paper. So in case there was any ink, it's going to go here instead of off to the side of this. So there's our happy. Then I'm going to clean this off and then flip it around and do Easter. So this time I'm going to want to mask over here and come this way. So now I have a stacked Happy Easter that fits in my little hole. So what do you think? Ooh, Loretta says there's sirens going off for tornadoes. That sounds kind of scary. Please be careful. Yes, I do know that the last chance list and the catalog are going to be online Monday, but all of my friends got to see it today. I'm just like jealous. And they got a really cute backpack. Okay, so we can put these on the inside on our bubble bath layers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bunnies that are similar and put them across from one another so that it alternates. So we'll put Happy Easter up here. And then put this one down here. Now I'm choosing to have all of the sentiments go in towards the center. You may choose to have them both go this way and both go that way, but you would have to kind of, You have to stamp the sentiments all this way if you wanted them to all read the same way. But because it's an explosion box, I was totally okay with them all reading from the inside out. So there we go. There is our inside all exploded and decorated. And then we would pop in our eggs right into those little holes. Then in order to close it, we're going to fold up all 4 sides. And then we're going to set the box over the top. So there we go. That's holding Cadbury Creme eggs. Like I said, it'd be really super easy to make without the inside. And maybe put a muffin, a cupcake, jewelry box. All kinds of things can fit inside. So that's our explosion box. So who's ready for Prize Patrol? We're going to be giving away this card. The way you get entered into that drawing is to put into the comments hashtag Prize Patrol. And that's going to get you entered into the drawing. And that's right there. We have people entered already. Thank you. So glad you guys like it. Okay, here we go. Let's see who winner is. Wendy's our winner. Congratulations, Wendy. You know the drill. You're going to go over to my website, queenbeecreations.net. And up in the address bar, you're going to put /Prize Patrol. That's going to take you to a Google form where you will let me know what you want or your address and where you want it mailed to. So thank you. I apologize. I'm getting distracted. I'm reading comments. But congratulations to Wendy for being our winner. And I will see you right back here on Monday at 2:30, hopefully having a little more sleep and being a little more alert for your project on Monday. So thank you, and I will see you then. Bye.